You have been avoiding the thing that would actually fix you. That key in the thumbnail? Every morning he sat next to it in a cold room with no clothes on. For an hour. Winter and summer. Franklin called them air baths. He would rise early, throw open the windows, and let the cold air hit his bare skin for 60 minutes before he dressed for the day. Not once. Every morning. For decades. You hit snooze when the room is 68 degrees. He sat naked at an open window when it was freezing. You avoid the cold call, the hard conversation, the workout you said you would do, the email you need to send to someone who intimidates you. He sat naked in the cold. Not because he enjoyed it, because he understood something you do not. Comfort is not a reward. Comfort is a cage. The more you protect yourself from discomfort, the smaller your life gets. Every avoided call shrinks your competence. Every postponed conversation weakens your nerve. Every morning you stay under the warm blanket when the alarm goes off, you are not resting. You are training your body to need ease. And ease is a drug. The dose always needs to increase. Franklin also stopped eating meat. 4 months at a time. Drank only water while the other workers in his London printing house drank beer every day. Walked to work in the snow while others took carts. You have 100 reasons why you cannot do the hard thing today. He had 0 reasons why he could not do the hard thing. He just did it. Not because he was born with more willpower, because he practiced discomfort like a muscle. Every morning, for an hour. You have been practicing comfort your whole life. Look where it has gotten you. Here is the wound you are not naming. You have decided that your feelings are reliable indicators of what you should do. You feel tired, so you do not work out. You feel anxious, so you avoid the call. You feel unmotivated, so you wait for motivation to arrive. You have built an entire life around the premise that comfort is the signal and discomfort is the problem. Franklin operated on the opposite premise. Discomfort was the signal. Comfort was the problem. Every morning when the cold air hit his skin, his body told him to close the window, to put on clothes, to go back to bed. His feelings screamed at him to stop, and every morning he ignored them. You think he had no fear? He had fear every single day. The fear was not the obstacle. The obedience to fear was the obstacle. Here is what this has cost you. You cannot trust yourself anymore. You have broken so many promises to yourself about hard things that your word means nothing to you. You say you will wake up early. You do not. You say you will make the call. You do not. You say you will start today. You do not. Every broken promise trains your brain to ignore your own voice. You have become background noise to yourself. Franklin never broke a promise about the air bath. Not because it was easy, because it was a ritual. Rituals do not ask how you feel. Rituals ask what time it is. You need fewer feelings and more clocks. Not because your feelings are wrong, because they are not in charge. You are, and you have been letting them run everything. You have done this before. You have told yourself you would do something uncomfortable, felt the resistance, and then negotiated with yourself until you found a reason to wait. Tomorrow, next week, when you feel more ready. That is not discipline. That is the opposite of discipline. Discipline is not feeling ready and doing it anyway. Discipline is the cold air hitting your skin and not closing the window. Franklin's air bath was not about health. It was about training his will to override his feelings. Every morning he rehearsed the same motion. Body says no, mind says yes, body loses. He did not wait until he wanted to sit in the cold. He never wanted to sit in the cold. That was the point. You are waiting until you want to do the hard thing. You will be waiting forever. The wanting never arrives first. The wanting arrives after you start, sometimes long after. This is the shift you have to make. Stop asking how you feel. Start asking what time it is. You feel tired. What time is it? 6 a.m. Time for the workout. You feel anxious. What time is it? 9 a.m. Time for the call. You feel unmotivated. What time is it? 7 p.m. Time to write one page. Franklin did not have a different emotional life than you. He had a different relationship to his emotions. He acknowledged them and then ignored them. Not because they were invalid, because they were irrelevant. The cold does not care how you feel about it. The cold is cold. You either sit in it or you do not. Your life does not care how you feel about it either. The bills come anyway. The opportunities close anyway. The years pass anyway. You either do the thing or you do not. Your feelings are not part of the calculation. Think about the person you were 5 years ago. That person had a list of hard things to do. That person did not feel ready. Look at your life right now. That is the answer. You are still that person. Unless you change the relationship to the feelings. Not the feelings, the obedience. Here is what you have been telling yourself. I will do the hard thing when I feel ready. That sentence has cost you years, maybe decades. Look back at the things you said you would do when you felt ready. How many of them have you done? How many of them are still sitting in the same place they were 5 years ago? Ready is not a door that opens. Ready is a wall you have to climb over. And you do not climb over it by feeling ready. You climb over it by putting your hands on the cold stone and pulling. He sat in the cold for an hour every morning for 50 years. He did not want to. He did it anyway. You can make one phone call today. You can send one email. You can do one thing you have been avoiding. Not because you want to, because it is time. You have been waiting for the fear to go away before you act. The fear does not go away. You go through it. Franklin sat in the cold every morning for 50 years. Not because it stopped being uncomfortable, because he stopped needing it to be comfortable. Tomorrow morning when your alarm goes off, do not ask how you feel. Ask what time it is. 6 a.m. Time to get up. Not when you are ready. Not when you have slept enough. When the clock says 6. That is the only discipline that matters. Not the heroic version where you leap out of bed with energy and purpose. The boring version where you put your feet on the floor because the clock has numbers on it and you promised yourself you would move at that number. You do not need to take an air bath. You need to do one thing today that your body tells you not to do. Not the biggest thing. The thing you have been avoiding for 3 days. The call. The page. The conversation you postponed this morning. One thing. That is the repetition. That is how the will gets built. Not in grand moments, but in small cold mornings when no one is watching. The cold does not get warmer. You get harder. I refuse comfort. I refuse comfort. I refuse comfort.